Hello, how y'all doing? I'm going to talk today about Will and Jada. Now, I do not know the totality of their relationship and don't want to know either. I don't want to know any details. Now, I don't care either. I mean, since I was 16, I don't care about people's bedroom. Don't even talk to me about other people's relationship. I don't care about their bedroom. I don't want to know. I've been like that since I was 16. And I still don't want to know about people's relationship. But, people always tell me all the time about their relationship or somebody else's relationship. Like, I want to know. And I wish they would stop telling me because I don't want to know. But anyway, since Will and Jada are all public about everything, you may as well talk about it. Now, I'm not like Tasha K that would just take some gossip and run with it and then add some more gossip. I only know what I see on Google, what I read on Google. I do not do secret interviews with anybody in the booth, in the back, in the corner, in the dark. I don't do that. I only know what I read on Google. I don't really have that kind of time to go meet people anyway, to go meet people in the back of a store. I don't have that kind of time. I really don't. That's why I just read Google. Okay, so on her Red Table Talk, Jada clearly does not want Will Smith on her Red Table Talk. I have watched a few episodes. Now, I have heard it. The public has heard it, but Will Smith is not hearing it. Now, on her Red Table Talk, she says Will Smith is not satisfying her sexually. I hear it. The public hears it, but Will Smith doesn't hear it. He's not listening. Okay, Jada says she had an affair with Alcina. That's probably one of many affairs that she had because the word on the street and the streets know is that they have an open marriage, which is no marriage, but they have an open marriage. She says she got an affair with Alcina. She's telling Will that. I hear it. The public hears, but Will doesn't hear it. He doesn't hear Jada saying that she's screwing this other young man. He doesn't hear it. That she's been screwing this other young man. Will doesn't hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. So then her daughter gets on Instagram and says she wants Tupac back in her mother's life. Tupac is dead and gone. So her mother can be happy because her mother's not happy with daddy. She wants Tupac resurrected from the dead. Okay. And the way Jada talks about Tupac, she acts like a grieving widow. I mean, come on. Grieving widow, she's out there in public grieving for Tupac. Okay? And she wants Will Smith to be like Tupac. She wants Will to be Tupac. So I hear it. The public hear it, but Will Smith does not hear it. Again, he just doesn't hear it. Jada says she never, on her Red Table Talk, she said she never wanted to marry Will. She never wanted to have a wedding. The public hears it. I hear it. But Will Smith is right there. He doesn't hear it. In other words, in his mind, it's not happening. I'm not hearing this. It's not happening. She said the wedding was horrible, disastrous. Will Smith is not listening to that either. Okay. So I'm hearing all this. The public is hearing all this, but Will Smith is not hearing it. It's not happening. So why is Will Smith so passive? In other words, he's hearing his wife disrespect him on national TV, and he's not saying nothing. He's not doing nothing. He's not reacting. Why? Because he has to go back to his childhood. He said he did nothing while his father beat his mother halfway to death. He watched it happen. He did nothing, did not defend his mother. So he's passive. When it comes to critical situations, he didn't even try to defend his mother. When it comes to critical situation, Will Smith does nothing. He's passive. He just watches it happen. He's watching Jada disrespect him, says she don't want him sexually, says she's screwing another man. He's watching all that and he's passive. He's doing nothing because he did nothing when his father beat up his mother. Okay? When Jada says she doesn't want him, she never wanted him, she never wanted to get married, that she wants Tupac, she wants Will to be Tupac. I'm hearing this, but Will's not hearing it because he's passive. When it comes to any kind of emergency situation, he's just passive. He doesn't hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. It's not happening. It's not happening to him. She said she never wanted to marry him. Will Smith just stands there like a bump on the log, passive, no emotion. With all the disrespect, no emotion at all. Why is he like that? Because like I said, he watched his father get beat up his mother on more than one occasion. And he was passive. He didn't do nothing. Now, as an aside, that's why I am who I am. I always defended my mother. Always. I defended my mother to the day she died. That's why nobody in the family likes me. Because I always defended my mother physically, any other kind of way. That's why nobody in the family likes me. You ain't going to hit my mother and I'm not going to say nothing. I've been like that since I was a baby. You just not. That's why nobody in the family and all these other people that were in the family, that's why they never liked me. Because I always defended my mother. And like I said, I defended my mother to the day she died. That's why I am who I am. That's why I can live with myself. I can live with myself because I defended my mother. Okay, that's why I can live with myself. Now, that's just an aside. Now, why in the world would Will Smith feed, clothe, and house a woman who don't want him in a $24 million house? Probably $24 million with his own zip code. Why in the world would he feed, clothe, and house a woman who constantly disrespects him and doesn't like him anyway? Doesn't want to be married to him, doesn't like him sexually, goes after a young man, screws him, and screws who knows who else in that open marriage. Why in the world would he feed, clothe, and house a woman like that in a $24 million house? I don't know, because he's passive. Because in his mind, it's not happening. It's not real. No, Hollywood applies to Hollywood. Hollywood does not apply to real life. This is real life, Will. This is real, Will. She's saying she don't want you. Never wanted you. She'd rather have any man but you. She wants Alcina. She wants Tupac. She don't want you, Will. And Will cannot seem to understand that. Because in a critical situation, he becomes passive. He doesn't do nothing. He doesn't act. He doesn't do nothing. Just like he was passive when his father almost beat his mother halfway to death. He didn't do nothing. Now, see, Will Smith married one pretty wife. He ditched her. I don't know why. Okay. Then he married a second pretty wife, and he probably said to himself, this pretty woman has to like me. And so then he just had to pretend marriage for the next 25 years. His daughter doesn't want him in particular. His son wanted to be, manumitted, freed at 15. So, what's the common is Will, okay? They don't want Will, okay? His daughter doesn't want him. His son doesn't want him. And Jada doesn't want him. So it's something he has to do some mirror therapy. Will does have to do some mirror therapy. I recommend he do some mirror therapy to see why nobody wants him, why his wife doesn't want him, why his daughter doesn't want him, why his son doesn't want him. He needs to do some mirror therapy. He needs to do some mirror therapy as to why he's so passive in the middle of a crisis. Now, I'll be honest, no man has to tell me on a national program that they don't want me. All you got to do is say 3 words. I don't want you. That's 4 words. All a man has to say to me is 4 words. I don't want you. You know what? Bye. You won't hear from me again. Okay? And once I'm out of your life, I'm out for good. I'm out. And I'm out for good. Now, Will thinks that real life is like Hollywood. No, real Hollywood is just Hollywood. But he's passive. Whenever he gets in a crisis, he's just passive. He doesn't react. He doesn't do nothing. He allows bad things to happen. Just like he was passive when his mother got beat halfway to death. He was passive. He's passive when his wife said, I'm screwing everybody in Hollywood. So what? What you gonna do about it? Here's Alcina. I screwed him too. What you gonna do about it? Passive. He doesn't react, doesn't do nothing. He still feed, clothe, and house that woman in a $24 million home, go buys her a $200,000 Oscar dress, which she didn't deserve. He still feeds, clothes, and house a woman who clearly doesn't want him. Why? I don't know. When he gets stressful, he gets passive. He doesn't do nothing. He doesn't react. Now, Chris Rock, I don't understand why he couldn't have kept his mouth shut for 3 hours out of the whole year. The Oscar comes for once a year, 3 hours in that year. Why couldn't Chris Rock have just shut up for 3 hours out of the whole year? And none of that would have happened if he had just said, I'm going to keep my mouth shut for 3 hours out of the whole year. Look, nobody made him have that comedy routine. I might understand that he wrote it, or either if somebody else wrote it, he didn't have to say it. So look, all I can say to Will Smith is stop being so passive. When you get into a crisis situation, handle the crisis. Don't be passive and just don't do nothing. Handle it. And I will also tell him, go get him a McMansion far away from Jada. Get away from that woman. She's toxic. She's poison, Will. The girl is poison. Just like that Bill, Bev, and DeVoe song says. The girl is poison. She's poison, Will. Get away from her. There are some women in this country who would treat you like a king. But I do recommend that you get a McMansion in another state on 2 or 3 acres. And nobody's allowed to come in. But the ones who your inner circle, the ones that you want to come in. And I do suggest you have good security. But look, Will, I hope you do find your soulmate. I really do. Have a nice day.